Uh, well, ladies and gentlemen, hope you must be doing great, and thank you so very much joining into us. And as you know, we are always here with some amazing, guest. And today we have a very amazing guest with us. That is Nancy Mouton, and no doubt she is just an amazing lady, and she got a nynca coaching consulting company, Cosina BV, helping companies to attract and retain their best people by creating more goal-oriented and empathetic workplaces. So I will not waste your time, and definitely I will directly go to the Miss Nancy. Hello, Nancy. How are you doing?
Hello, thank you for having me here. I'm doing good. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great. It's my pleasure that I'm having you right here because this world really needs people who really knows the exact knowledge and who really impart their knowledge to the other people. So it's my pleasure to be here.
I'm
So,
happy to be here too.
well, that's great. So, Nancy, I know you are doing a lot of training sessions, and you are doing a lot of trainings regarding the leaderships, regarding how people can build teams, how people can work very good and nicely within the organizations and outside the organizations. So, just tell me, what is leadership? How we can define what is leadership? How you can define?
Well, leadership for me is a way of creating a team where everyone is valued, feels they're cared for. And by doing that, you get a group of people who want to get results together and who do the work not only because they have to, but also because they want to.
Oh yeah,
And
Nancy, once I heard just one thing that team work for a common goal, and group have
yeah.
different goals for themselves.
Yeah, and I think as a leader, it's important that everyone in the team knows what is the goal. Because at the end, I'm convinced that everyone wants to have the feeling that what they do has meaning. You don't want to do something just because someone asks you to do. You want to do it because at the end of the day, you want to be happy that you did this and it makes a difference for someone else.
So it
And
means
this is
that
being
it means you want to say that leaders just motivate other people of the team, other members of the team as well.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Because I don't know how it is for you, but if someone tells me to do something and I don't know why, I question why should I do this? Well, if I know what is the reason behind it and what is the value of it, I will do it with much more pleasure and I will be happy to do it.
Okay, yeah, that's very great. You just told me the very right thing. So just tell me one thing that do you think so that leaders produce the leaders like themselves? They should develop the leaders like they are because so many people they just they are the built-in leaders, giftedly leaders, but they never impart their qualities to the other people. So what do you think leaders should impart their qualities to the other peoples as well so that they can combine together like a team?
Well, I think that in the first place, you need to look at what everyone needs to get the best out of them. And that doesn't mean they have to be a copy of you, because it is possible that you are someone who speaks easily and who explains easily what has to be done, but other people are thinking about it. And once they've made up their minds on the how, then they are going to speak about it. So these are already different points of view. And I think for getting the best results, you need to look at the personalities as well, because not everyone is the same. And even if you put the same person in different circumstances, in one place, they will blossom and they will be talented employees and magnificent team members. And take that same person in a place where they don't feel at ease and they don't feel like they can be themselves, you won't get the same results. So it is
Exactly.
important that people get the feeling that they are part of the team and that they matter in the organization.
Yeah, that's very true. I will totally agree with you. Nancy, just tell me one thing that what should be the traits of a leader? What qualities he or she should have so that people should follow his team or her team should follow that, and definitely say that he is or she is a leader. Few traits. What do you know? What do you want to say
But
about this?
in big lines, what is said of a good leader, in essence, is that on one hand, you have to be a warm person, so
All right.
not a very cold one. So people need to feel that you want to interact with them. You have to be competent as well. But what
Okay.
I've experienced is that people want to get the feeling that you value them. And there is a quote that is very important for me, and that is what I've seen in practice as well. People care for people who care. So
Wow.
if
Wow. Wow.
they,
People care for people who care. Very excellent.
yeah, because if they get the feeling that you care for them, then they will do what you want them to do. If they only get the feeling that they're a number in the organization and they're just there to do their job and it's limited to that, then what they'll do is limited to that. So if you want your people to be motivated, then they need to feel that they are important for you, not only to do the job, but also as a person. So
Okay. Okay.
the caring for people is, in my eyes, very important.
Well, that is the most important thing, to give importance to somebody else. And what I believe there is a trait which I believe that people that the leader should be brave. He should
Yes.
lead from the front.
Yeah.
He should tell his teammates that I'm ahead of you and I will do it first. And all of people will say, okay, our leader is there, so we should follow him or her.
So what I hear you say is lead by example. And I
Oh,
really
very
believe
good.
that. Yeah, give the example and people will follow. If you don't set the example yourself, then why would they do that?
No, amazing, amazing. That's great. So now just tell me something that why people are so much stressed nowadays. Then we will go to the organizational stress and organizational culture.
Okay.
Why everybody is so much stressed nowadays?
Well, if you talk about stress, then there are different factors. Because it's not only the amount of work. You can have one person who can handle a lot, and you can have a different person who can handle way less. So
You mean we have the different capacities to
yeah,
handle the stress?
yeah, and
Okay.
it is depending on what feeling does it give for you. Because if you have a lot of work, but you have the feeling that you can handle it, then you will be able to handle it. But give the same amount of work to someone who loses it and it's way too much and they don't see a beginning anymore, that gives stress. That's on
Oh,
one level. And if you look at it, then you also have the difference between the feeling of feeling overwhelmed and then
okay.
actually you can handle everything, but you need to organize it a little more. But on the other hand, you can be overloaded, and that means that even if you try your best and you organize everything and circumstances are optimal, even then you can't do everything. There's just too much on your plate. So
So there
you
is a
really
question.
need,
Yeah.
yeah,
There is a question in my mind that it means that a true leader is that who is never letting his people to get stressed out. So he will definitely guide how to do the work. He will definitely guide them, advise them,
yeah,
and the people will lesser stress out. People, what I
yeah.
believe, Nancy, people will get stressed out because they don't know how to done the work. They should, if they will tell by somebody else that how this work will be done, that they will be quite easy to do that work.
Well, it all depends on what do you need to do. Do you have clarity? Because if it isn't clear what you need to do, then you're just starting out, you're doubting, is it the right way? You're putting way more time in it than is necessary because you aren't certain. And at the end, it is possible that you have to redo everything. So it starts with getting clarity on what you need to do. And if you don't have that, then ask for it. Because having those little moments of getting the clarity will save you way time by doing it and at the end. And don't be afraid of asking questions.
Exactly.
It's
That's
not,
what.
yeah.
People are just like when we are telling somebody like just do this work like this. They was like, okay, and we will say that why you didn't do this work. Sorry, sir, we really don't know how to do that work. I was attending a seminar, and the person who was giving us the training, he was saying that a person should be very clear-minded. Because if we will be not clear-minded, then how we will communicate to the other people? How we can communicate very well with other people? So just come to the communication. What do you think? How we can improve our communication skills? One of the most important thing, one of the reasons for the misunderstandings. How we can improve that communication?
Communication starts in good listening. Really listening and not just
like me, like I'm nodding.
Yeah, for instance, but it's also checking, because it's not because I have a clear image in my head and I talk about it that you have the same image as I do. So I need to check with you, did you understand me in the way that I'm intended to? So you need to ask. It's not just tell them what to do. It's also checking, did you understand it in the way I intended to? Because otherwise you will find out later that you had completely different visions. And it starts there. And what is important for me as well is regularly checking in. Because if someone is starting on doing the assignments or whatever that needs to be done, and you wait until the end to see then that it's not in the way you had in mind, there's already so many time lost. So if you do a little check-in during the process, just to know how are you getting on, is everything working, do you need everything to do that, and you can have a look already at what they have, just to see if it is in the way that you have intended to.
And let me tell you. Please carry ahead. What I have heard in my life, that people have different perceptions in their minds. For example, everybody have different images in his or her mind. So we have to convert those mental images to the other person. This is called communication. What we are thinking, if we are communicating to the other person's mind, then this is called a good communication. A lot of time, the people, they don't get what we want to tell them. So they have their own perceptions. They do have their own realities of the mind. So if they will understand anything very well, they should be very clear. And if a person is clear, he or she will definitely do that task very well. What do you say about this?
I agree with you. And one of the things that I would add, sorry for the noise there. One of the things that I would add is don't leave any blanks. Because if you think that they will know what you think, then don't. Because in many cases, they have a completely other idea than you have. Because as you say, we all see the working place or your relationships or whatever from a different point of view. And what you see is that the perspectives that we have are built upon the experiences we've had. So it's important, even if you have the idea that something is going on, and for instance, that someone in your team isn't behaving well, and there are some problems, then the first question to ask is this really true, or is something else going on? Because it can be that what you see is the result of something that happened before, or something that happened last week, or they might have had a bad night, or there may be a number of reasons that don't have to do anything on the way you work together with this person. So don't fill in the blanks that, oh, he doesn't like me, or it's always this way, or it's this. And that doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah,
And
fill in
then
the
it's
blanks,
important.
fill in the blanks with our own perceptions, with our
Yeah.
own words, what we are thinking
Yeah.
regarding that stuff.
Yeah, because in many times it won't be correct. It
Exactly.
won't be. And even if you have some things, it's important to talk about it soon. Because if there are some frustrations between people and you don't address them and you don't speak about it, then it builds up to something that can get to a point that is very difficult to solve. Because at some point, you have people really working against each other instead of working with each other. And if you can do that from the beginning, if there are some frustrations or there are some different views, talk about it. Talk about it, get clarity. But one thing is very important there, don't be personal.
Oh,
In that
exactly. That is
way,
very important.
in
That
that
is very
way,
important.
what I mean is go to the facts. Go to the situation as it is. What do you see without putting an interpretation of it, of what it might be? Look at what really is going on and then decide from both sides, what can we do to bridge this and work together? And
Don't
do this
listen to
from
the
the
one side.
beginning.
You want to say don't listen to the one side. Just go to the both
Yeah,
sides. What is the
yeah.
perception on both sides? Then you will decide what is the matter actually. What is the real actually matter?
Yes, because in many cases, there is something to say for both point of views. I mean, if you look at it, some of it may be true for both of the people. So what you are looking for is how can you find each other, that you respect each other, and that you find a bridge that you can go on further.
Okay, that's awesome. Just tell me something. I have another question. People are so much busy nowadays, and they are really unable to cope up with a work balance, work-life balance. Work and life balance. They have a work life and they have a family as well. They are unable to balance work-life balance. So what do you suggest how they can balance, between the workload and the family? Because work has its own importance and family has its own importance. So they are just going for the money, money, and money. So there is another side, family, your children, your wife, and your grandfathers, grandmothers. So all of them. So how you will suggest how we can balance family and over corporate life? Please elaborate.
Well, I have to start to say that this is different for everyone, because
Okay.
some people only want to work, for instance, from 9 to 5. You have other people who get very much satisfaction of doing their job and they want to work longer. So it's individual. But what I do think is if you have the feeling that you work too much and it is not in balance with your family life, then you need to talk about it. So you need to find a way of either how can you work more efficiently and losing less time, and do some time management, for instance, to see where are you losing the time, or you need to have a look on what are the tasks that can be delegated. Do you really need to do everything yourself? And also prioritize, because sometimes we get overwhelmed of all the things we are doing, but not everything is as important. Some things really need to be done and really need to be done soon.
So what
Some
we
things
understand,
can
everybody
wait.
have the different priorities, and everybody have different circumstances. So everybody is behaving with his or her mind, right? So there
Yes.
is another question I have in my mind. How we develop habits? What are habits? Just tell me your favorite
Wow.
topic.
Yeah, that's one. Well, I have to say, Virginia Gunn, who I do lots of videos together with. She's way more into this than I am. But I like this as well, because what actually is a habit, that something, it starts with a cue. So it's something that once you get there, you get into a certain routine, you do it, and then at the end you get a reward of it. And the advantage of having habits is that it takes way less effort from the brain to do it. But you have good habits, you have bad habits. And if you want to change them, you can, but then you need to change the cue. So where does it start with? And for me, for instance, I'm just going to give an example. If I drink tea, I like to have a piece of chocolate with it.
Okay.
I have that in the morning, for instance.
Very great habit. Very nice habit. Tasty
yeah,
habit.
I live in Belgium, so we are a country of very good chocolate. So
oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, but if you want to change that, for instance, I could change the type of tea that I'm drinking, that I don't have that cue anymore of having the chocolate, or just not buy chocolates, then I can't eat them. So if you change the start, you can change it. But why are habits so important? Because there are so many things during the day that we need to do, that if we need to think about every single decision we need to make, then at the end of the day, we can't do anything anymore because we are exhausted. Exactly. So habits are a way of having less effort with your brain to choose your decisions more consciously.
What exactly? You are very right. What I have listened and what I have taught in my life, that we have two minds. One is conscious mind and one is unconscious mind. So if we keep on doing a single thing for more than 60 days, 60 to 65 days, repeating daily on the daily basis, that it will become the programming of our unconscious mind. And we are 95% over unconscious mind, and we have just 5% over conscious mind. So humans are operated by the unconscious mind, subconscious mind. We can call it subconscious, unconscious. So the habits are the programming of our subconscious mind. And deliberately, when we don't think about anything for 60 days, let me tell you something. If I am drinking tea in the morning, in the evening, for the 60 days, that it will become my habit. So if I want to lose that habit, that or quit my habit, first of all, let me tell you, Nancy, something. Habits becomes our realities. First of all, what we do, that becomes our habits. Habits becomes our realities. We are always operated by our habits. So a man is always known by his habits. We are always doing according to our habits. So what I believe, I also have to need, like I just love winter, and I never wear a jacket in winter. So this is my poor bad habit. So so I need so I need to quit that habit. And I'm also drink tea very much. So this is one of the reasons that I would definitely to quit my habit. So Nancy, just tell me something about how we can improve over corporate culture, the cultures in the organizations. How we can improve that?
Well, I think one of the things it starts already with is, how do you deal with new people? Okay. Because if you have a way in the company that they are really welcome, that they are guided, that they feel valued from in the beginning, then on the long term, you have way more chances that they will remain in your company. Another thing that is very important is have regularly conversations. Because in some companies you have a talk once a year to know how you are doing, where do you want to go. But you know what? By then it's too late. You
Exactly.
need to do that regularly. And if you could do that, for instance, every 3 months, and there is a problem and they can talk about it, you will have the opportunity to do something about it. So
Let
you
me tell
need
you,
to talk with...
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. There is a company in Thailand called Mitsubishi Electric. You know what? On the daily basis, they have microphones in all the departments of the organization, and the CEO of the company addressed to a single worker at the lower level as well, and he always say good morning, best wishes, and all the workers become so much motivated that our CEO, we are hearing our CEO, he is talking to us, he's giving us the
Yeah.
importance. So just like you are telling me, please carry on.
Yeah. I think this is important because in some companies you have the exit conversation, so why people want to leave, but actually you want to know why people stay in your company and what they need to stay there and what they need to really feel good in your company. Not at the end when it is too late, because if you have to restart with training people and hiring people, and that's taking so much energy and also costs. Because
Costly,
people
that is
don't
so
know.
much costly, that's so much costly.
Yeah. So
Because
if
I'm
you
a
can
trainer,
prevent that,
I charge so much to train the people.
yeah. So if you can train the people and they stay in your company, I mean, you gain already so much money. So you really need the people to feel good in your company, because this
Exactly.
will make a difference. Because I'm convinced that you can invest in machines and in organizations and so many things, but it are the people who need to do the work. So it are the
Okay.
people who need to feel good in doing their jobs, so they will keep doing it and be happy with it. Because I'm convinced if they feel good at doing their job, they will do a way better job than if they're just coming to do their hours, for instance. It's a very big difference.
Okay. Nancy, in the end, we have just 5 minutes left. And,
Okay.
first of all, just make a promise with me that this is not the last one. This is the first one. And we'll keep on, doing different podcasts regarding different subjects, because I have a lot of things to discuss with you. But we have really a shortage of time right now here. So
Yeah.
this is a promise with you. And you also give me a promise that we will keep on discussing stuff with each other, right?
We can.
All right. So just tell me, what are your favorite topics when you are training, and what is your company is doing? Please brief us. What is the scope of your company, nynca?
Well, with nynca, I help organizations to create better work cultures where you have a good bridge between the leaders and the people who have to work in the teams, how they can work in a better way. That's one aspect. And then one of the basics to do that is more empathic leadership. So not I'm the leader, I'm telling you what to do, but to see how you can bridge them to get the best out of the people, and that they feel well at what they do, and that they like going to their work and like what they do. And the second part is the goal strategy. So instead of each time looking back at everything that has been realized, is looking forward. If you want to reach this goal, what do you need to do today to get there, or to get a progress to get there? Because that's a whole other way.
So you need to develop the KPIs, key process indicators, to achieve their goals.
Yeah, but it starts already with defining the goals. I mean, where do you want to be in 3 years, in 5 years, in a year?
There are
if you want to get there,
short goals and long-term goals,
Yes, and you have to define them in a very clear way with objective key elements. How can you measure them? How can you measure them in time? How will you know that you reach them? So you can monitor it. Where are you at? And make the adjustments you need to have a look. Do you need more people? Can you do it with less people? Is also possible. What materials do you need? What knowledge do you need? To be able to get to the point, instead of looking back and see, okay, we didn't get there. because of this, and this. If you look
Okay.
forward, you can have a look, what do you need to get there? And
Okay.
that's a whole different approach.
Let me tell you something. That we are living in the third world country. I'm living in Pakistan, and people really don't know here how to set up their goals. In the Europe or at your side, people are more aware about their rights, like their goals, how you to use their mind. But the people in the third world countries, they are we have poor literacy rate here, so they don't know how to set up their goals, how to let me tell you something. Our mind
Yeah.
is created in this way that it is goal oriented. Our mind always need goals to operate. So first of all, uh, I'm a great fan of Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is an English trainer, and he said in his book that our mind is goal oriented. So when we will give goals to our mind, he will definitely achieve them, short and long term goals. Nancy, thank you so very much. A lot of pleasure talking to you, and hopefully, I will must say that my LinkedIn channel and my YouTube channel, a lot of people they watch that channel, they will definitely say that we want back Nancy to the other discussions as well. So we will definitely something about this interview you want to say about this podcast. You want to say at the end?
Well, I hope that people get something out of it, because, if you want to change things, you can start small. You don't have to start with very big steps. Start small and start with doing it yourself. Give the example and let people see that what you want to implement, you start doing it yourself, that they can see the results. And do it with small steps and see how it goes. And if this goes well, then add some things. Do it step by step.
Very, very, very. Thank you so very much. At the great message, we will end up this podcast and hopefully catch you very, very soon. It's really my pleasure to talk to you. I have learned a lot of things from you, and stay blessed. And I will catch you very soon.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Take care.
Bye
Take
bye.
very good care. Okay, take care. Very good care about yourself. Take care.
Bye.
Okay, thank you so very much, buddies. This was today's podcast. We will definitely meet you in another podcast, and definitely with Nancy and other guests as well from all over the world. So wish you very best of luck, and we will keep in touch with you. Thank you so very much.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.